Welcome back to week 2. So this week we want to continue strengthening our connection to our inner freedom and getting even better of, mapping all the different ways that it can show up for us or how we can access it. And we also want to connect it to creativity, because if your creativity is connected to your inner freedom, it's much more free. So it can flow easier, it can go further, it can be more potent, it can be easier to find solutions or come up with something new. All these wonderful things that we want to have creativity for, they are just so much more easy if they also come from the place of a connected inner freedom. You hopefully have a good idea now why you want to connect to your inner freedom, so I'm not going to explain much more in depth about that. And if you need to go back to last week's audio, then you do that. Let's go straight into the energy transmission, or the inner exploration, for you to even more fine-tune your understanding of inner freedom, your understanding of, in this case, how inner freedom can connect and interact with other qualities, so that you can then access it easier throughout your day. Okay, so let's move into the energetic transmission. And as last week, so I will give a few ideas, visual ideas you can follow along, and also some cues that you can track in your body. So first of all, again, maybe you want to close your eyes, make yourself comfortable, just make sure you can really focus inwards for a couple of minutes. And first of all, I want you to reconnect with that feeling of inner freedom that you possibly explored last week. So again, the inner freedom can feel different for different people, but see what it feels for you. And I already said last week, see if you can feel it in your gut in particular. That feeling of that it is okay to choose what you want, that it is okay to stand behind your choices, that it is okay to feel what you feel, and also access all these wonderful inner resources. And see what kind of feeling you get with that. Again, it very often can feel like an inner lightness, an inner okayness. So we talked about, that inner permission giving. Just see if you can reconnect to that feeling of, yeah, cool, I can just do whatever feels right to me in the context of things, of course. And I can also really know what I want. And again, if it helps you, maybe again, you can imagine the energy of the inner freedom, or even just the words, have them trickle through your body so you can actually really feel what they feel like. To really internally be free of any mental patterns, behavior patterns, any emotions that might get in the way of you accessing your inner freedom, and then also accessing all those jewels and qualities like your inner strength and your confidence and your certainty and all that's almost behind the inner freedom. So again, just take a few moments to reconnect to that. See what happens in your body. Even just listening to that, you're possibly getting a bit quieter, but the inner freedom isn't always quiet, so it's good as a way in, but then do make sure you get that signature, energetic signature of the inner freedom as well. And as before, if there's any resistance, you can just notice that and see if it just moves when you put your awareness on it. But mostly, really, you do want to focus on the inner freedom, even if you don't have a clear sense, because otherwise you just end up looking on, where you're not free. And right now we want to focus on where you already are free. Okay, and just again, if you found something in your body that feels like, yeah, that feels like it's free, just let it expand through your body, which again might feel like it's getting lighter and lighter. And then for today, or this week, we do want to explore that really in connection with creating something. So you connect to your inner freedom, and then you also invite in the quality of creativity, or of creating, of creations, anything like that. And even just saying the words, you might already feel something, or again, like have it either as a word or as an energy, just drop into your body or expand in your body and connect to the feeling of creativity. Like, what does that evoke in your body? And it might come with, related things like giddy playfulness, or it can feel colorful, it can feel explorative, curious. I don't know, like, you see what it is for you. But just see for a moment that, okay, creativity, where do I feel that even in my body? Like, again, does it have a particular location where it resonates more with than others? And again, always when you do find a place, and can you expand it? And also just simply, just gently pay attention. Are there any images or, messages or anything like that coming up? Maybe memories even, when you tune into the energy of creativity. And because we connected to the inner freedom first, I find that then the creativity is already free, but also again, then you can make sure you're connecting to both. So you have the creativity, but also come back to the inner freedom and see how they feel. You being free, again, having that feeling of you being free to really choose, standing behind your choices, knowing what's right for you, what's good for you, what you want to do, what you want to think, what you want to believe in, all of these things. And then to creativity, how does that feel? Like, how do they interact? And again, it can be very different for everyone. I find that often the inner freedom, because it's this kind of gentle permission giving, some of that quality goes into the creativity, which is just more of like, I can create whatever I want, and almost in a quite gentle way. But for you, it might be different. Maybe it's getting much more explosive, and you're like, oh, can't wait to create this thing. And equally, of course, the creativity feeds back into the inner freedom, which might feel it's all of a sudden getting much more, explorative. Could be, that it's not like the whole thing of creativity, of course, is that it can move in lots of different directions. It's not usually going in a straight line. So is that something you're picking up for, maybe? Or maybe you're really having this inner urge of, wanting to move towards something you're very curious about and you want to engage in, create with, or something. So maybe that's coming up. Just stay with it, be curious with it, and see what happens. And if you feel like they haven't been connected, you can also ask inner freedom and creativity literally to mingle, to have a dance, to connect internally of you, and see what happens when they do that. And again, let it spread to your body, and you might want to come back later and explore it deeper. I'm just making sure you have a sense of it, so you know what to go for. And I do want you actually to think about something that you might want to create, explore, that you're working on, be it, in work or your life or something, but where you know that, creative juices are going to be really useful, as in they are for most things in life. And just bring that to mind while you're staying connected to your inner freedom and creativity. And see again what's coming up. Are you feeling excited when you think about that thing? Is there any form of maybe you're dreading it? I imagine when you really connect to your inner freedom, you possibly won't have any kind of negative things coming up, negative things. Do you feel eager maybe? Is there a movement forwards towards a thing? And if there's not, that's cool too, of course, and you can notice it. And use your inner freedom to give your creativity full permission to completely embrace, let's call it the project, or the thing, the area of your life that you're working on. Let's call it a project. And really embrace it, let the creativity, the free creativity, fully move into that project and do its magic, because creativity is incredibly powerful. So if we fully give creativity permission, it usually can come up with all sorts of, solutions and new ideas and new ways of doing something that are way, way better than if you try to think hard on how to find a solution. All right. Okay, let's see if that works for you. So how's your project? Maybe, is it taking it on? Is it shifting? Is it changing? Is there any new feelings or thoughts coming into your body? And if you do have a question around that project, for example, or you feel a little stuck with it, again, ask your free creativity, your inner freedom with your creativity. Okay, what do you want to do? How are you going to approach this? What's your way? Just let it do it, because your inner wisdom will know what you need to do. So just ask it and see if you get anything. And you might, maybe you get words, maybe you get shapes, maybe you get images, Maybe it's a sensation. All of it counts. Beautiful, beautiful. And if you want, you can, of course, go further into it and keep exploring, you know, keep almost visualizing how you're going to move forward. Well, if that's enough for you, you know how you can access it now. And I just want to once again, so you might let your project go if that feels right for you for now. Or you stay with it if it's too exciting. But otherwise, yeah, just reconnect again, inner freedom, freeing your creativity almost. What does your inner freedom allow the creativity to be or to do, or how does your creativity feel when it's coming or connected to your inner freedom? And you might even want to imagine for a second like how it would feel without. It's possibly not as enlarged and sparkly and potent and all these things. Just see if you can get something. And if it doesn't make no difference, fine. We're just, you know, exploring. This is all just to get you more attuned to your different ways of how you can feel and how you can use them and the way how they can be useful for you in your everyday life. Okay, right. Okay, once again, also check again if is it still in the same spot in your body, your creativity and your freedom. And once again, just come fully back to the inner freedom, let the creativity go, because that's, of course, what we mostly work on. How is that inner freedom? Has it moved? Has it changed? Has it a different quality than before? Is it very prominent in any particular part of your body, or is it, can you nudge it through all your cells and even outside into your aura and your wider field? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so once again, you might want to open your eyes or slowly come out of it. Maybe you want to move your body, or just, I don't know, maybe you're fine where you are. Just make sure you're back in the room and grounded. And as always, let me know how this is going for you and what kind of insights you might have gotten, or what your free creativity has allowed you to do. And of course, you can always come back and re-listen to this again. And yeah, until next time, bye bye.